we people dance. We take dancing to a higher rank. We spend pound and we spend franc. Jonathan new dance and a Jamaica and drunk. Yes, on the river, on the bank. Kick out the shoes because you put them no camp. When you step in the river, on the bank. Jonathan new dance and a Jamaica and Bronx. Yeah, down the flank, we a go down the flank. Like a baller, we go down the flank. You're cheap, pretty young, get in your tank. But the new dance, you know where people can't pull. Give them a run, give them a run. Give them a run, we and the girls that have come cool. Give them a run, give them a run. Give them a run, we and the girls that have come cool. I've been on that before, yeah, but I've never seen a dance like this. I've been on that before, yeah, but I don't wanna come top to this.
What's up? What's going on, people? Welcome back. We have the review of The Flash. I just came out of it today. I got Nerdman here with me. Danny Graham said he'll be popping in as soon as he gets finished watching it. If you've seen on Twitter, he had a few issues of why he couldn't see it right away, but he will be on there soon. Nerdman, shout out to people. Tell them where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Hot Takes Tuesday. I'm actually streaming this live. This is going to be I don't know if this is a spoiler or non-spoiler review. I guess you'll see.
Yeah, non-spoiler first, then non-spoiler first, then spoiler.
Okay, because I don't know how to review this movie without doing spoilers. That's what I was kind of like saying, and I was like, yeah, it's really this one's going to be a tough one for me to review because I've got very complicated feelings towards it. But anyway, yeah, Hot Takes Tuesdays, that's where you'll find me.
Absolutely. I'm really curious
DC for life.
Even after this movie, DC for life.
You know, funnily enough, this is the last DC movie that I like, because I was saying, like, I'm kind of like done with all this comic book stuff. I'm going back officially to try and get laid again. I'm done being a nerd.
You might as well stick to being a nerd, because that ain't happening, nerd man.
Yeah, that's true. You don't know what I've been up to recently. Anyway,
probably nothing.
Don't count Nerdman out too quickly. So what was I saying? Yeah, no, I did. This was the last it's the last DC movie that I really, considering how they are, like, they're just so stop and start. I like their movies, but they're unreliable as fuck, and they're hated by the masses. And I just don't want to put myself through being like emotionally invested in this kind of thing anymore.
But why are you letting people think?
This was the last one I really wanted to see. I've seen my Shazam movies, I've seen my Flash movies, I've seen the a dark Batman with Riddler, I've seen a good Justice League movie in Zack Snyder's Justice League, I've seen Wonder Woman. Those are all the movies I wanted to see from DC. It's like, I feel bad that I encouraged them to even make them, like online, because they've just got shit on for it. And but yeah, so I've seen them all, and I'm kind of checking out a little bit. I'll still support them in terms of like in the cinema, but yeah, I'm done, and I want to even just move away from this kind of things.
And if you guys believe that Nerdman is done, I got a piece of land to sell you. $2 million. All right. But
I'm done. Trust me. I have no interest in Blue Beetle. I have never liked Aquaman. So
and you're not going to be interested in James Gunn's universe?
I'll be interested in Superman movie, kind of the Batman movie. I'll be interested in the Batman 2, Joker 2, the Wonder Woman series. But like, the thing is, I'm not as interested because it's James Gunn, and I don't think he fits DC. Honestly, like, it doesn't excite a James Gunn Superman movie does not set my world on fire. I'm like, okay, I'll give you a go. I'm not gonna be like toxic and hate on you and shit like that. But like honestly, I don't think that character really suits you. So not super excited for that. But we'll see how it goes.
Right.
And after this movie, yeah.
So,
I'm
what are
really
your
not
initial
excited,
thoughts
James.
on the movie?
I'll say this. I think James Gunn fucked up this movie.
Okay.
I think his wanting to change things up basically meant that certain things, because this isn't the full movie.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that is not the post-credit scene, for instance.
Okay.
That post-credit scene may be the worst post-credit scene of all time.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, I was hard on the Eternals with the leprechaun or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but at least that kind of entertained me. I was like, whoa, there's a leprechaun and Harry Styles. What the fuck is that? Like, this post-credit scene was bad, but you know, I'm not going to judge the whole movie off a post-credit scene.
Right.
Other thing, I want all those people. We're not in spoilers yet. Okay, we're not in spoilers. I'll say this: some people, some hipster comic book fans, are holding a big L, and I'll explain why later. From what they've been, what I've always kind of had told to me about certain things. Okay, so what was the other question? What did I think of the movie in general?
Yeah, your overall thoughts.
This movie should have been one of the greatest comic book movies of all time and was sabotaged by fucking idiots.
Mm-hmm.
It started off incredible, really. And this is the other huge problem. CGI.
Oh yeah.
So even the bits that are incredible leave themselves open to criticism. But I wasn't so bothered about it in the beginning of the movie. I was still like, you know what, I forgive this. And all throughout the movie, I kind of forgave it. I'll put it this way. This movie has a good first act, has a great second act. Third act, middling to good, but the ending is trash. And it's so bad. It's such a fall off. It's so anticlimactic that it kind of hurts a little bit the whole film, even though the whole film is good. This is a really funny movie. It's got really good comedy in it. It's got great performances especially by Ezra Miller. I really think he holds up. It's got a really good emotional core. It's lacking one central thing that does a lot of harm to it, and then also I don't know. The rest is kind of complicated for me to put context to it, but I'll just say that they could have thought bigger when it came to the end. That's how I'll put it, like that. They could have thought bigger, and the CGI is, I don't know how to comprehend what they were thinking with that CGI, what Andy Muschietti, or if it was that they didn't support him by giving him the right budget. They decided, oh, let's dilute this and make Blue Beetle and make this and that instead, or if it was a choice by Andy Muschietti. Whichever one it is, didn't do themselves any favors. I'll let you speak on it, but I'm going to give an analogy for what I think about these guys and what they did with this movie, because this is and should be one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, short of a few scenes, a central issue, and the CGI. So that's me.
So my thoughts on it, my initial thoughts are, I'm like you. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I thought it was just okay, and like G Major said there, and it did drag at so many points in the movie. Like I literally almost fell asleep watching it.
Oh, it didn't drag for me, but anyway,
Yeah.
I'm interested in, and I did love parts of the movie. I really love parts of the movie. But,
I did not like young Barry. He annoyed me. I could not stand that character. I thought it was really horrible. The job he did at that. I just didn't like the character at all. It drove me mad. So yeah, I know a few of you are gonna say I'm hating and stuff like that, but yeah, it was not impressive for me.
I mean, I would say like that's like saying it's the way that the dad and the mum were grating on my nerves in Across the Spider-Verse. I like they're just too jokey, too whatever. But I think the comedy with this guy was good.
I don't. You see, that's the thing.
I'm kind of
Nerd man,
I'm
I let you
surprised that
speak.
that's one
Let
of your
me go.
criticisms.
Let me finish.
No, I'm surprised it's one of your criticisms.
Yeah, let me finish. Let me finish. Because it's not even about the jokes. It's just he was like a whiny little kid, and I couldn't stand that all the time. Like, oh my god, there were some scenes that were funny with him. I'll agree, but it was just like, oh my god, like shut up, like like.
No, but he wasn't a whiny little kid. That was the whole point. To the adult Barry,
whiny.
He was looking at the younger Barry and going, "Yeah, I was a whiny little punk and an idiot, and I was irresponsible." And he couldn't stand looking at himself. And he was also jealous that this kid had lived with his mother. Had the experience of having those memories with his mother, and he couldn't have those memories. So it was like that double kind of thing of, not only am I annoying when I'm younger, but I'm also annoying and kind of I've had this whole experience that I wish I had had. So I understood the emotional core of that relationship.
Yeah, but it's not even about that to me.
Supposed to be annoying.
Man, can I talk?
I'm just saying he was supposed to be annoying.
Yes, I know, but like I let you talk and say nothing, and now you keep interrupting me every time I say. You're like trying to. You're trying to explain to me like why okay, I get what you're saying about that. I didn't get that from him. I didn't like the character at all. Barry, even like he didn't act like that. You know what I mean? In Zack Snyder's Justice League, I don't find he acted like that. And I found like it's just annoying. Here's another problem that I had with it is it's like, were they in a different universe or were they on a different timeline? They don't explain that clearly, because there's a lot of times where they make it seem like it's a different universe and not just on the same timeline, right? And I did not like the explanation for it, because it seemed like they were trying to, contradict what Endgame was saying, right? When he put the noodle down and he's showing the way the timeline is, I was just like, okay, whatever. But the movie's not horrible. I just found certain parts of it really boring. Like hold on. And G Major's here, so he's gonna talk too, and then you'll get your chance to talk. So just remember. But Danny said he just finished. All right, Danny.
All right.
When you're ready to come in. See, you made me forget what I was gonna say now. God damn it, never mind. You made me forget what I was gonna say. G Major, go ahead, talk about the movie.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me come on. Yeah. I went in the theater with my brother, and in the beginning, I said, okay, got some action going on. I kind of digged it a little bit. I thought Miller did great, especially playing off himself.
Yeah.
But I I got that dragon mode even into the third act, and it kind of took me out of it. The action was good, but the thing was it was too much of Miller and Miller, and I found like the just the understanding of the multiverse and everything. I was like, are you in, like saying, are we in a different time or are we in another multiverse? Because it didn't make sense when we'll spoil it later. I say one thing, it is got some emotional feelings. I think this DC's most emotional movie. Because
One
in
of them, yeah,
my theater, there was a couple of sniffles going on near the end.
yeah.
But yeah, I just it was like you. It was okay. I probably could have waited for streaming on this one.
I want to say this. I think my theater was along, both times I've seen it were along for the ride most of the time. There was lots of laughter, lots of like, genuine, like, there was even a big clap at one point. But yeah, like in terms of the heartfelt moments and stuff like that. But going back to the timeline, I think that they explain that pretty fucking well with basically what he's saying is because of the nature of look, I'm not gonna like, okay, because of the nature of quantum physics, when you travel back in time, it doesn't just mess up like the future timeline, it messes up the past as well, because actually if you look into quantum physics, the what's it called, fucking hell, what am I, there's a thing that basically particles travel back and forward in time. So when you mess with a timeline, you don't just mess with it, it sends ripples back into the past and the future. So you create a multiverse. So going back in time, you inherently create a multiverse, right? It's not, you can't just go back in time and change the future. You go back in time and change the past as well. So I think that does make sense, especially if you're
That don't make
kind
sense.
of, it does make sense. So look.
Why would you change? But why would you
physics,
change something where, like, let's say he goes back and saves his mom? Why would that change everything that happened before that?
okay, because particles.
Don't give me particles.
No,
crap,
I'm
bro.
serious. I'm serious. That's clearly what they were talking about. And I know, you might go, oh, why should I know about that? But particles and waves, the basic units of quantum physics, this is why they're trying to find out about the grand unified theory, because the world on a microscopic level does not make sense. It doesn't travel in a linear way like we see in our world, from our point of view. On a microscopic level, everything is traveling in crazy ways. So it's
Okay,
going
like, I
backwards,
don't want to
forwards,
hear
blah
all of
blah
this.
blah blah. And
But
that is what he was talking about.
But ain't
in
no one know how time travel really works. So all of that stuff is just garbage theory. It doesn't make any sense.
It's not garbage theory, dude. It's
Absolutely,
actual
100%.
science.
100%.
I'm telling you.
There's no
All right.
real science to it, because
I'll show
nobody
you. I'll show you after this stream. I know it sounds very fucking like I'm talking bullshit. I'm like trying to just cap for the movie, but clearly that's what they were like. That's what they were alluding to, because he's like, obviously they're like both scientists and whatever, and maybe they could have explained that a little bit better, but like that's basically it. It's like stepping in a river. The ripples go in every direction.
Right, and they do explain that in the animation version, but this, I just got lost. If they had straight up when he went back to the present, I can maybe accept it a little bit better.
The only thing and I remember what I was gonna say now. The CGI, even though it was bad, didn't have a problem with me, because the only time I really had a problem with the CGI is when they did the cameos. That's the only time I really had a problem with it.
That's all.
I didn't have a problem with the running. I didn't, and I'm sorry, I just did not like the way like he would go back in time. I didn't like that. I think the CW Flash did that so much better. Like
What do you mean? What do you mean the way he went back in time?
like when he's in the Speed Force, you know what I mean? How it looked
The
when he's in the
bubble.
Speed Force. Yeah,
Oh,
the
how
bubble.
it looked.
Yeah, I didn't like
Oh,
that.
okay,
bubble,
because I
yeah.
thought like that was more spoiler, so I didn't bring that up.
Yeah, no. I
Um,
just didn't like the way that looked.
I didn't like the way it looked either. I just think they would have done better making it more, just having it be more real, like making the actual not the Speed Force itself. I didn't mind that being cartoony, but the actual things that
We're in
people
there.
and
Yeah.
what
Mm-hmm.
they should have looked just real.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like that was my issue with that. So.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that, but
I think the explanation for it was actually one of the better ones in film. I'm sorry, like
yeah, I know you would. Of course you
no,
would.
I'm not trying to cap. The best way I've put it is you step in a river, the ripples go every different direction. That's basically what they were saying.
No, the best explanation is still and always will be Back to the Future.
Endgame one, yeah.
Back to the
Makes
Future.
completely no sense.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
You heard what I said? Yes, Back to the Future.
Yeah, but that causes the grandfather paradox. So
if the grandfather paradox is real, right? Again, like those are just theories. Nobody knows what it's like, what happens if you go back in time. So the grandfather paradox is a theory. It's not like actual fact.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't want to be like. I'm not even going to talk. Particles go back in time. We know that. We've seen it happen. When you look through. Anyway, just doesn't matter. Let's just talk about the film. So, what next? What do you want to talk about next?
I guess you could talk about the characters. I already said that I didn't like young Barry. I thought older Barry was a little bit better in this one. What about Michael Keaton? What do you guys think of his performance?
Yeah, having him back was kind of, it was good. Some parts when some words he said, I was like, don't say that. Like he said, you want to get nuts, let's do nuts. I didn't like that part, but other than that, having him back was, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought he was brilliant. I thought Ezra, him were brilliant. I think they're capping a little hard for the Supergirl thing, and it's not her fault. I just don't think she was in it enough, and then there's the CGI problems with her. So
yeah, I thought she was unemotional.
Really,
Yeah.
I thought she was good. I thought she was
She
good.
was unemotional, but I liked her. I thought she was good.
Yeah, I thought she was good. I just my problems with her are outside of her performance, really, and they go back to things that are fundamentally problems with the film.
Now let me ask you this: would you think it'd been better if they had Henry Cavill in there instead of her?
No, I think it made sense in a way, but I think this film's longer. I think there's a longer version of this film, and I think they've taken aspects out of the film, because I think Henry Cavill was supposed to be in this film, by the way. But they've taken parts out of the film that contradict this new universe that James Gunn is trying to do, and that's my biggest gripe with James Gunn when it comes to this. I think he's like messed up by coming in and going, oh, maybe we can do this just to make it a little bit more smoothly aligned, and it doesn't smoothly align. Yeah. And I really like this movie, and it makes me sad because I understand everybody's criticism, apart from the time travel stuff, which I really don't get what you're saying.
I'm gonna say this straight up.
Everybody's criticisms towards it, and I feel like they did it to themselves.
Transformers was better. than this movie.
No, it was not.
Absolutely
No,
was.
it's
100% Transformers was better than this movie.
No, it was not.
Transformers way better than this movie. There's like
In
the
terms of
middle
CGI,
the,
yeah. I
the
mean,
middle of the
like
movie,
apart from that,
the middle of this movie, nothing happens. Like nothing happens in the middle of this movie, and I'm just like, okay, can we get to some relevant stuff? Like I
what
just
do you
like,
mean
oh,
nothing happens?
nothing
Yeah, we was in a
happens.
stalemate in the middle of that whole movie, and it's just
Dude,
like
nothing happens in. Do you mean? I don't. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Well, I guess we'll have
Like
to talk about that
like
in
nothing happens. We can get into it's what another
because
4
I
minutes and
think
we get into spoilers, but yeah.
I think what they did was pretty clever in terms of like setting up the heart of the story with the relationships and stuff like that. You know, with Barry, Dad, Mom, his other,
And
his other self. I think all of that stuff was pretty entertaining and funny.
all
And
that was entertaining, and that was better than Spider-Verse.
people were laughing. As
That
I've
was
told
better than
you
Spider-Verse. Like
with
no,
Spider-Verse, I was bored for the first hour, like a lot of it, because it was just like elongated chases, this stupid fucking polka dot man who just, I got it. Okay, you I get the slapstick of it all and whatever, but we're gonna keep doing this again and again and again, and like elongated, elongated chase scenes that seem to go on forever. And then the parents, they were goofier than the first movie, and I watched the first movie again to just check, and I actually do like the first movie more, especially the first hour and a half.
Absolutely not. But what I'll say this is the parents in this one, I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? At least the moments with Miles and his mom were way better than the moments with Barry and his mom.
Look, it's a cartoon. Okay, first of all, so let's not like, you can't do what that cartoon did in live action.
Okay, but I'm talking about the emotions. But I'm talking about the emotions with with Miles' mom is better than anything that was with Barry and his mom.
Yeah, because it's the second movie, and
so what?
They've had time to flesh out that relationship.
No, they fleshed out that relationship more in the second one than in the first one. His mom's barely in the first one.
I think that it's done good enough for this movie. They didn't, labor it. That I got the point. They're a loving family. There's a tragedy at the center of it. I don't need to sit there for hours like with him talking to his mom. Oh, my identity and how hard it is. Like not being able to tell you my secret. Blah 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 blah. All seen before. People are capping hard for the Spider-Verse as well. I'm sorry. It's
absolutely not.
They are capping out. They're
absolutely
capping real hard for it.
Absolutely not. No.
They are.
This
and
movie,
I'm not even,
the only heart in this movie,
criticism.
The only heart in this movie was at the end where he had to, put the soup back. But other than that,
the tomatoes,
yeah, you know what I mean? Even with the father stuff, there was no heart in that. I didn't care. It was just like, okay, let's get on with it.
I cared.
I'm like,
but
let's get
I
on
mean
with it.
that's I think subjective. I did feel that. I thought they did a good job. I think they could have done a little bit more with the parents, but I was in it. I understood like where he was coming from emotionally with what happened with him. So.
No, man, you saying that there's a lot of people in your theater. I was like, yeah, okay. I only had like 10 people in my theater.
Danny too. Danny had
Danny didn't have nobody, I think, did he?
Yeah, nobody in his theater. He showed me a video. There was nobody. It was
that's strange. I mean, maybe America is not really feeling Ezra Miller or something like that. But like, yeah, in the Czech Republic, I mean, it wasn't full, but like it was 3/4 full.
No, my theater was packed. Like without a doubt, my theater was packed. Like there was a lot of people in there. But I mean, for me, I was just like, man, what other characters do we not talk about yet? Supergirl, I thought she was good.
That's the problem.
Supergirl, I thought she was good. I thought she was good. I thought she did a good. I like the way she portrayed Supergirl. You know, I for there were things when I was watching the Zod. I'm like, is Zod a CGI character?
See,
You
that's
know
the
what I
thing.
mean?
Yeah, because he did come back. The guy who plays
Yes.
him, he
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
back, but it looks so CGI. I'm like, what's
Yeah.
going on with
He
this?
really did.
This
It was
is
bad.
okay. So I'm going to use my analogy now for this movie, and this is what I'm talking about. It's a little bit of a dark analogy, but it's an analogy nonetheless, right? I feel absolute sympathy for anybody who is an unarmed person who gets shot by a cop in America, right? Like it's
Mhm.
a terrible thing, and those cops need to be locked under the fucking jail, right? Especially like ethnic minorities and whatever, like that this happens to. Feel really bad for them. However, I have more sympathy, right? Like, given that we know that this is what cops do and it's kind of general knowledge now, I have a lot more sympathy for people who, do everything right. They don't resist, they don't do anything like crazy. And then, you know, this tragedy happens. I feel a terrible amount of sympathy for them. But then there's people who do some crazy shit, resist, try and go for the cops, taser or something like that. And I still think the cops could have handled it better, and it's still terrible, and they still need to face some jail time for what they do. But it's like when you know that this is what people do, right? You should be acting out of a extra caution when you're in those situations. DC now know that people are out for them. They know that there's these Snyder Bros trying to take down all their movies. They know that there's, a big contingency of people who are just like, I'm done with DC. They can't do anything good, right? They get this, I think, really good script for the most part. I know you're not feeling some of it, but I thought the script was really good. And then they just completely fumble on the CGI, as if they don't know that these people are ready with knives out to fucking attack them.
Yeah,
And
but
they're gonna, if there's a little flaw, they're gonna blow it up so it's like so big, that it capsizes the whole movie. And that is what they've done with this movie. And that's why I kind of just don't feel sorry for them in this situation. They, most of the time I'll just be there like defending, because I think they do make, like with the Batman or whatever, I think they make good movies, and think that they get overly criticized, overly harshly criticized. This one, it's on them, bro. Why didn't you just fix the CGI? There's so many times these guys' faces, like you're saying, Zod look like sometimes a game character, and you're like, what's going on there? So
yeah,
that's my biggest issue is like, you had a really good movie, a potentially really good, and when we get into spoilers, I'm going to talk about even more how they had a potentially great movie and they just fumbled it.
thanks for the
No reason.
99-cent super chat, Poe. Much appreciated. But you see, this is the problem. And like I said, the CGI, even though it had its issues, it didn't destroy the movie for me. That's not what destroys the movie for me. I can get past it. You know what I mean? I have no problems. I get past it.
There's another thing as well, but yeah, go on.
What's that?
There's another thing, but I can't say it until spoilers.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
a few things that I think spoil the movie, but yeah.
Yeah. I could get past it. I didn't have a problem with a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, it looks bad, but I could still enjoy a movie like that. So that's not the problem for me. Again, the problem for me is just like that second act just goes nowhere. Like, and certain things that were happening, and just like, ugh. And I'll say this. We're gonna get into spoilers now, guys, because we're in the spoiler part. So if you don't want to have it spoiled for you, if you haven't seen it, you might want to pull out now. Give you 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're spoiling it now. That fucking other Barry in the Speed Force was exactly what they did with fucking in the CW. I didn't like that shit. I'm like, why the fuck we have this fucking second Barry up in there? You know what I mean? Well, he's been in the Speed Force trying to fix it, and he's the bad guy basically.
Oh yeah, the cruddy looking one.
I did not like that. I hated that. I thought it was so stupid. Your thoughts, Nirma?
Anticlimactic as fuck. I was, like on the fence about them using the Dark Flash. I was like, all right, I'll see how they do it. I was hoping that somehow, Reverse Flash had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Right? I was in this movie right up until the end, like really, and I'm like you. I'm not, like a CGI guy. I don't really like CGI. I like Superman 1 and 2. Give me the flying guy where it looks like he's flying on strings, as long as the movie is entertaining me. So it's not like a complete turn off for me, like the CGI, although with a certain thing I was like, wow, you really should have spent the budget if you're going to do that. But the fact is, this movie needed a fucking villain. And this is why I was going back to like these guys who go like, oh, Wonder Woman should have ended without, Ares being in it, like they should have just had her, like realize Ares doesn't exist and all of this kind of shit. It's like, no, superheroes need super fucking villains. This movie didn't have a fucking villain in it. And that's why it fucking capsized, essentially. If they had the Reverse Flash in this movie, which they could have completely made sense out of it, this movie would have been a lot better. And they needed a climactic end with a battle between the Flash and this supervillain. And what happens? It's just some kind of existential nonsense like conversation, and then he sacrifices himself. Game over. So anticlimactic, dude, after everything you see in this movie. That's my big issue with the movie.
You know what? What you were saying, I think what they should have did was had the Dark Flash, be in that world, causing things to make sure Barry follows along, make sure he still exists. I mean, just in the shadows or something.
Right. My personal thing is, I think that he should have been somehow like involved at this guy's university, the young Barry, and he's somehow like convincing him, like on the sidelines of something else. I don't know exactly how, but like I feel like then they could have revealed that no, he's the one who killed Barry's mother in the first place. Right, so this Dark Flash is trying to like solve this situation, but in the end, the person who's been mentoring him or turning him against his own Barry ends up being the one who killed his mother in the first place. I think that would have been like, that could have been something interesting. But yeah, it's either way. I'm not like a paid screenwriter in Hollywood, so. They should have figured it out. They needed a supervillain in this. They needed and my other big problem is this a celebration of the Flash or is this the celebration of Batman? Because all the cameos, all of the stuff, it all alludes to Batman. And it's like, where's Grant Gustin up in here? You're doing a multiverse thing. Where's like Grant Gustin? Where's Wesley Shipp? Where's all the stuff to do with the Flash? And I'll go more into my thoughts on that, after. But
I'm actually glad they didn't put Grant Gustin in there. To be honest with you, I'm glad they didn't do that. It would have been cool to see, but I just don't know where it would have fit in. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with what they did. I don't mind that.
They had a whole bit where they just put random scenes.
Yeah.
I think it could have pretty much fit in there.
True, yeah. The scenes,
they could have
with it.
seen him doing his own Flashpoint moment. Like they could have shown that.
Yeah. But I think, like I said, like even for me, it would have been like when Barry went back to go put the cam back, and he's like, "Oh, I want to know who killed my mom." You know what I mean? And then they show Reverse Flash killing his mom. I think that would have been cool. What up, Danny? What's going on?
Yeah.
So,
What's up, man?
Chill.
Right, that's
Chill.
another thing that doesn't make sense, really. Why didn't he just go back and see who actually killed his mom?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Danny's here. Danny, what are your thoughts on the movie?
I think it started off really slow. Kind of dozed off a little bit.
Me too.
And then when the action picked up, I really liked the Michael Keaton Batman. His fight scene I thought was good. One of the better parts of it.
I agree.
The whole Batman thing, I think, saved it to me. Gave me some interest. I didn't hate Ezra Miller. I thought the way he played two different versions of himself, I thought was kind of cool. I thought the special effects needed work, but what they were trying to do was really cool. They put a lot of thought into it. I think they could have tightened it up a little bit more.
Right.
Because some would look a little corny and stuff, but as far as what they were trying to do and then how they explain how time travel and stuff, I thought it was really cool. But I just think the basic formula acronym I always use is KISS, keep it simple, stupid. They just should use Back to the Future way of time travel.
Facts.
Instead of trying to do all this. If you do this, and you do this, and you do this. I mean, the way they did it and the way that Endgame did it was kind of sort of the same, but I think I like Michael Keaton's explanation with the spaghetti and stuff. I thought that example was better than how the Hulk was trying to explain it and stuff.
Yeah. That's what I agree with. But anyway,
but I didn't hate it. It ain't gonna make $1 billion. That ain't gonna happen.
No, I don't.
Well, if the CGI was sorted out, it could have.
But again, I don't think the CGI is not the problem. You know what I mean? Yeah, the CGI is an issue, but when it comes to the movie, it's not a problem. Danny said I told him, Danny, I did not like Young Flash. I thought he was so annoying. I like even the part where he's eating the spaghetti and he's like, "That's Batman." I'm like, oh my God, that was annoying.
I wasn't annoyed. I was like, because I know he's playing a younger version of himself, and he had to kind of act totally. So that didn't bother me too much.
You have to think about going back and seeing yourself when you were 18. And I would think I was the biggest fucking asshole. I'd be like giving myself good advice, like trying to tell, straighten me up, get back in line. And this arsehole, like my arsehole 18-year-old would be telling me what's what. I know that for a fact.
Like when he was like in the Batcave, I thought it was cool. How he was like, I really like that part. That's
I think it would. Did you
Hold
get
on.
the sense, comic chat, that he was supposed to be annoying because your younger self would annoy you? You get what I'm saying?
He's supposed to be annoying, but I think I like the way the older Barry was like kind of tearing into him because like you think you're so cool, you think you're so this, and you don't know that mom is this, and then he caught himself. But then when him and Bruce Wayne was having the conversation, the younger version overheard it and stuff. But the way he jumped on him when he was trying to originally figure out and hunt for Superman, when he got pissed off at him, I can relate to that. I can relate to me talking to my younger brother like that when he said something stupid.
That point I did like, but I just felt when it just kept on between those two, that started dragging, and I'm like, okay, let's move on from this. Move something else.
That didn't bother me. What bothered me was that thing, all the roommates in the room. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Oh yeah, that was corny.
Out, then he in his drawers and he's showing the man on his thigh. There
were a couple of funny bits in that. Even I'm not gonna say that like it was a complete I thought there was a few funny bits in that.
No, that wasn't funny.
and you see, that's what I'm saying.
My audience is laughing. Anyway,
you see, and that's what I'm saying. Where you're talking about, the time travel and the ripple stuff. I'm like, it affected the fact that Michael Keaton was the one, not Michael Keaton. Michael J. Fox was Jesus Christ, what's his
Eric
name?
Schultz.
Yeah,
Eric
was the one
Stoltz.
that played that. I was like, come on.
Wasn't he originally supposed to play that though? I think
He
it was
was
kind of like a
originally
wink.
He
supposed to
was.
play.
I think it was kind of a wink and a nod, and then
Yeah.
the different actors that their name was playing in different movies. I think were kind of wink and nods at.
Oh no, absolutely,
And then
absolutely.
what I really liked was when the worlds were colliding. We saw the Nicolas Cage Superman, and we saw Christopher Reeve Superman, even though it was beat fake like a mother.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That would have blown my mind in the cinemas if they had have done it properly. Just get Nicolas Cage, film a scene, like and make it look real. If that
Right.
looked real, that shit would have blown my mind. I still think they could have gone with, doing Justice League Mortal as well, which was supposed to be filmed. They could have, shown a Flash scene from that. They could have shown a Green Lantern scene with Ryan Reynolds or whatever. They should have gone further with that shit. But for what they gave us, that shit would have blown my mind. Seeing Chris Reeves come real life with the Helen Slater there as well. Like,
I think the concept
they
was
just fumbled with the CGI.
yeah, the concept was there, and the idea was there, but what's the word I want to look for? The delivery,
Execution.
The delivery, yeah, you got it.
execution,
You got it.
execution,
Execution.
delivery. They did not stick a landing.
No.
You know what was funny though, right? With the Nicolas Cage part. If you ever watched the documentary The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, the fact that he's fighting the spider is exactly what they wanted in that movie. That's why it didn't go, because the producer kept changing his mind in the movie, and he told
Yeah.
Kevin Smith that, oh, I don't think Superman should fly. And then he's like, in the final act, I want Superman to fight this big spider. So when they put it in the movie, I was like, okay, that was cool that they did
Yeah,
that.
it was a
Okay,
really good
okay.
nod. It was a
Yeah.
really good nod, especially if you know about that stuff. It was a really, really good nod.
Yeah,
But
they had a lot of
that
Easter
shit
eggs in
needed
there.
to look realistic. I don't care what you wanted to make the Speed Force look different and see it from the dude. Just make it look real. That's the best
When
way
they were
to.
inside of the Speed Force and showing other stuff, now that looked better than some of the other stuff. Because you could tell, I don't know why they didn't get Michael Shannon, because you could tell that wasn't him. That was computer generated.
No, it actually is him.
Well, he sure looked a whole lot.
That's what we said.
He looks
He,
different in his face.
yeah, he has an interview where he's talking about how he came back to do it, and
Wow.
that's what we were saying. We are like, it looked CGI, like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't even look like him, but they
Yeah.
actually did get him back for that scene.
Wow. Yeah.
Uh,
And they got the other girl, like his lieutenant.
I don't know. I don't know about the other girl because they never said anything about her. But I mean, if they got Michael Shannon, I'm guessing they got her
I
too.
didn't like Kara when she talked.
Really, I liked her.
I liked her when she like first got
When
that
she
son,
wasn't
was in that
talking.
cell suit.
Mm-hmm.
That fight scene was fire, but like when she was,
But again, even that fight scene, dude, the CGI was off. Like there was little bits where the CGI it looked too rubbery.
I
Like,
think when they
it
slow
look-
it down, you can see the imperfections in it. If they did,
Right.
if
I
you
am.
did it a little quicker, I think.
Compare it to Man of Steel, bro. Like as much as I, me with that movie, not the biggest fan of it. Zack Snyder's Justice League, even when speedsters are moving around, when they're beating up people or whatever, it looks real. They look like real figures doing that.
Now, what I
In
did
this
thought was
one, it
funny
looked rubbery.
when he lost his powers, he tried to run. And he
Uh,
ran a little-
Yeah,
a little
that
Oh,
shit
that was funny.
That
Yeah,
was
that was-
hilarious.
That was funny.
Yeah, I agree. That part was funny.
I was like, what is he doing? He's actually running in real life like he does.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
tried
yeah,
to
yeah.
vibrate through the wall, and then he like
Yeah.
bam.
No, but he was also doing the run that
Yeah.
everyone takes the piss out of, everyone mocks, and he was trying to
That
do
was-
that.
But
I chuckled
That
at
was
that.
hilarious.
he was still doing that run through the movie. Like people said they fixed the run, and I'm like, no,
No,
It
no,
ain't
they
bad
didn't
as the
fix the
first one.
run.
It ain't.
it ain't as bad, but he still ran kind of the same way with his arms railing out like that,
And when did his
Um,
mother become Hispanic? I was like, when she
Yeah,
was
that,
at
I
the
just
end,
thabout that too. Or
I was
was
like-
that there? I'm like, wait a minute, his family.
I
is
don't
Hispanic.
think that's
He's
his
never
family.
Hispanic.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying But in the comic books,
Yeah, he's not
yeah.
Hispanic. He's not no Hispanic. I'm like,
I mean, whatever. Like, dude, that's like, yeah, it's a version. It's a different version. That's how I always see it.
Yeah, I
But
Like,
guess. Yeah.
but that's what I was saying too, because even when like he's a little kid, like the father and the mother look Hispanic, but he looks straight up white. I was like, wait a minute.
he's
Like,
not
that's
Hispanic. The father was not Hispanic. Where did you get
But
the
I'm
father
saying
was
he
the
looked
Hispanic
father
from?
Hispanic.
looked Hispanic.
The father
Absolutely.
was straight American, dude. Like, there was no Hispanic going on with the father.
Remember,
It was
he
only the
he
mother.
looked
I
Hispanic to
didn't say he
me.
was. I said he looked.
Yeah, he looked Hispanic to me.
He didn't look Hispanic. That's
Yes,
what
he
I'm
did.
saying. All right,
Yes, he
all right,
did.
all right,
He
all right.
looked a little bit lighter, darker than a regular white person, bro. Like when they're
yep.
standing with the kid, the two of them, he's darker than Ezra Miller's was as a kid, and I'm like, he looks like he's Hispanic
Are
too.
you kidding me?
No,
I'm not even gonna entertain this. The
I don't know
guy is
about the
not
dark
supposed to be
skin. I didn't see
Hispanic.
that, but a lot of times I've seen darker Hispanic people, and then lighter.
right.
He looked like one of the fair skinned Hispanic. That's what I thought he was, especially when I
I,
heard the mama talking. I was like, so they.
I was just about to say maybe when you heard the mother talk, you just kind of made an assumption, but he is supposed to be straight American in this movie. Like, he's not
Tomato,
supposed to be
tomato.
Hispanic at
Don't
all.
really care. It was something I noticed, but it ain't
Me too.
nothing that is
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to be make me hate the movie any more, any less. But it was okay. I give it a.
Yeah, go ahead.
I give it a C plus maybe.
Yeah, I'd probably give it that too. I still said, and I said it earlier, I said Transformers was better.
Yeah, everybody said that this is gonna kill Transformers. I don't think so.
Neither do
I
I.
think
I
they're gonna
think
be neck
Transformers
and
is
neck.
better.
They're gonna be
Yeah,
1A and 1B.
facts, 100%.
I don't know. I hope it does better because I think it's a really funny movie and it's heartfelt and it's just
Yeah, some heartfelt
again
moments.
if it doesn't, I think it's the CGI. That's the only thing because I actually like this movie. The only problem is no villain, anticlimax. Like when George Clooney turns up, I was like, oh, ha, 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 ha. But like that doesn't really make sense to the story you're telling, and that
Right.
Aquaman stuff as well. Like I'm sitting there waiting for an end credit scene, and
What was the end
Aquaman
credit
turns
scene?
up, and that's why I don't even know if it was an end credit scene. I don't get it. I
What
really didn't get it. It was
somebody
like
told me
Aquaman turns up and he's drunk. That's it.
WSE said it was an end scene credit and that wasn't worth staying on. He said no, so I left.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like it was just Aquaman and him talking, and Aquaman was drunk, And Aquaman was like, I can't get drunk, but yet he's drunk, and he falls into a
No,
puddle
no,
of
no.
water.
Yeah,
Flash
he just
can't
fall
get
in that puddle, and then he's just
Yeah.
like, I'll sleep here.
Flash can't get drunk because of his high metabolism.
I thought I heard him say he can't get drunk, but
I don't think
Flash.
Aquaman can get drunk either.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Aquaman says he can't get drunk. That's what I
Drinking all the time.
right.
God,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna go. You go watch it again. Okay, it's
I ain't
Flash.
saying
Flash
that
can't
clip 'cause
get
I didn't
drunk.
watch it, but I'm saying based on the Aquaman movie, he was putting on a whole lot of alcohol and what didn't seem to be phased. So that led me to believe that maybe
Oh
he
yeah,
wasn't.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, I think he can get drunk.
Okay.
Anyway.
I don't really care.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't. I think he said that, but I'll have to watch that scene again.
I'm not paying to
But
go watch it, so I just
no, I'm not paying to watch
don't
that
come
again
on
either.
the a clip. I won't be watching.
Yeah, I'm not watching that again either.
I'd give this
No.
movie a 7.5 out of 10. I really like it, but there's no way I can get around like its glaring flaws. I thought it was really hilarious. I thought the action was
We knew before going here
stunning at times.
Facts, Danny, 100%.
This not a shock to us.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not a
right.
shock. We are not surprised.
The action was stunning at times. The Michael Keaton stuff was great. I thought there was really, really creative stuff. They just didn't execute like on the final thing enough, and there was too much stuff where I'm like looking at like Ezra Miller's face when they're acting off each other, and it gets uncanny valley at times. You know, this was like Justice League with the Superman's face times 10.
I did like.
You know,
Oh my god!
Oh
The
yeah,
Wonder
Wonder
Woman
Woman.
thing.
Woman girl.
yeah.
Now they got her flying now, so it's must be after 1984.
See, I love the
Yeah.
way you guys are just pretending like I'm not critiquing this movie. Like I'm not
We
saying
like it.
like
We know that you
Well,
like
yeah,
it,
yeah.
Mhm.
man. And we know whatever we say that we ain't gonna change our mind, and that's the
Right.
same
Right,
for
right,
us.
right.
We
no,
know
I'm not
that.
trying. I'm not trying to change your mind, but I feel like you're just kind of like, oh yeah, he's just capping for the movie. I'm
No,
not
we know
capping
you
for the
would
We're
like
not.
movie.
it.
We're not saying you're capping, but we know. I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt,
Mm-hmm.
you and K-Dots are gonna like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was
Oh no, Team
Whether it
Virus,
was good
because
or
he got
bad.
on me earlier. So
whether it was a diamond or whether it was a piece of turd, y'all was gonna like
Facts.
it.
Facts. 100%.
Like, it's not a piece of turd.
I'm not saying it is.
so,
But I'm
so
saying if it was a piece of turd, you
You
wouldn't
would
say
still
it was a
like
piece of
it.
turd. You'd
Yeah,
be
you would
like,
still
no,
like
I would say it was a piece of turd.
Nah, I don't know about
I
that one.
absolutely would have.
Mm-mm.
It's just not. So it's hard for me to say that when like I enjoyed it because I watch all the Back to the Future stuff. I like all that time travel stuff. So it wasn't boring for me. Any of that part that you're saying was boring. I maybe because I read the
So
Flash
actually, the
comics
first
as
part
well.
for me was boring. After the Batman, the first initial Batman scene from when Wonder Woman left to when he got to the alternate
Mm.
universe, it was a little slow for me. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Me too.
Yeah. And
But
I'm
then once he
saying like
got there,
that wasn't so. To me, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm just into Flash. I like the character. So I wasn't there waiting for Michael Keaton to come in. I was like, this is cool. I'm getting like Flash scenes and finding out about the science of how Flash's powers work and all of that kind of stuff. It was interesting.
this movie from being a complete flop.
What's that, Danny?
Michael Keaton in there kept this movie from being a complete flop.
Yeah, I agree with you. 100%.
they
Possible.
are
From the kitchen
hoping.
scene to the time he got killed the first time or that last time,
Mm-hmm.
he stole the show.
I agree. 100%.
I don't. I think Ezra Miller stole the show, and I'm not. His double performance was really, really good and really, really funny. I don't think this movie got like it was helped by the Batman. The actors are not the problem with this film. The characters are not the problem with this
I
film.
agree with that. I agree with that statement. But it's kind of like some people say if you take Heath Ledger out of Batman, would it be just as good? If you take Batman, the Michael Keaton Batman, out of that, which was about maybe an hour, would it be just as good? I don't think so.
But if you take Ezra Miller out, it wouldn't be like if you took the Flash out, like it wouldn't. It would not be as good. So I kind of agree with that, but I don't think it's the same situation where it's just like Heath Ledger clearly just absolutely stole the show. Absolutely.
So can we agree that Heath Ledger carried the Batman movie? That Batman movie?
He carried the Dark Knight, definitely.
Okay.
But
I
I don't
think that Michael Keaton in this scenario carried that movie. If you take him out of there, I don't think it's going to be
because everybody wanted to see Michael Keaton back.
Yeah. Even
you know what was
when
funny
he said
though?
those two catchphrases, I was like,
Yeah.
and I hate that you want to get nuts in the first one.
Yeah, I just said that earlier too. I did
the way
not like
he delivered it on this one. I was like, okay,
it was
kind of cool.
You know what was funny? I bet you'll like this comic chat. When Keaton was when they arrive at the Russian base, and Keaton wants to carry him up to the top thing, and he's like, he puts his leg up.
Yeah, like you want to carry him like a baby. He's like,
he was like, here, bro.
That was funny.
You know what's funny? That's the part where I dozed off, right? That's when they jump out of the jet the first time, right? Yeah, I dozed off. I closed my eyes, and then I heard the crowd laughing, and that's what woke me up when I opened my eyes.
Wow.
Wow.
I can tell you what, that ship he had, was that like a gyroscope, the cockpit? Batman?
Yeah, it looked like
that
it,
was
yeah.
fire, man.
Yeah.
I was like, that right there is fire.
What did you guys think of George
That I had
Clooney
a
at the
problem
end?
with though. That it's funny because I have a problem more with the second part of the film than the first part, because I'm like, I expected that battle to be bigger. I didn't expect it to just to be in a desert, and like I just thought it would be bigger somehow, and I don't think they like quite
You talking
pulled
about
off
the fight scene at the end, or the one in Russia?
the one with no, the one in Russia was good. All of the fight scenes were good, but the one where they're in the desert fighting Zod, I expected that fight scene to be like more involved. I
It
expected
was
it
a
to
little
go to
anticlimactic.
Metropolis. You know, I expected to see the buildings falling in Metropolis and stuff like that again. And
Well, that's what
you know,
the war in the what they call it, the engine. Dang, I can't think of the name of it.
The World Engine?
The
World
war
World and
engine was in the city. Yeah,
World Builder, ain't it what they call it?
they
yeah, the
call it the
world
world
engine.
engine.
Yeah,
One
and I
of the
just
two.
expected Zod to be a little bit more as well. I was looking forward to the point where he was going to go kneel before Zod or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't really anything in this movie. Like it was a kind of
I
glorified
kind of liked it
cameo.
when
They
they
did,
start doing what's the movie the Groundhog Effect. Like they would kill different ways, and
yeah. That was cool.
to me that got a little interesting.
I didn't like that scene for some reason. I don't know. It's like a stadium of time, I guess you call it.
I don't know. For me, like I said, I just didn't like the way the when he was inside the Speed Force, how it looked and stuff like that, and how you know, I don't know. I just found it weird.
I
Can we
But
like
say Zack Snyder did it better?
um,
no,
well, I mean,
not to
Zack
me. It
Snyder
didn't.
didn't really. I think the CW Flash does it the best. You
Wait,
know what
what
I
do you
mean?
mean he didn't show him in the Speed Force when he reversed time in Zack Snyder's Justice League? He was in the Speed
That scene
Force.
was
Oh,
cool, but the way they did it on this one, I think was, like I said, the
what
concept
up,
was
Terrence?
cool, but the execution and the
That's
Well,
what I'm
yeah.
CGI was a
saying.
little bit. But the
That's
way
what
he
I'm
had them
saying.
different.
Zack.
Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was
Go.
saying the way the different worlds was colliding and stuff, and then showing the different things, and the way the guy each time he would go back in time, he get a piece of that stuff stuck in. I thought he was going to turn into one of them other speedsters that have like the little sickles and stuff on it. Um, but correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't our Barry Allen, had a dream of that other thing when he was knocked out one time? I thought I saw. Wasn't that a
Sorry, he had a
flashback
dream of what
of
specific
that
thing?
of the purple looking flash at the end that was trying to kill him?
Oh, you
Uh,
mean that he got knocked when he first got knocked
When he first got
into?
knocked out, didn't he had saw that thing growl at him, and then he woke up startled and stuff?
He wasn't. I think he was just knocked out of the Speed Force by him. It wasn't
Yeah.
that
No, I
he
thought
couldn't.
even before he got his powers back, like he was in the back cave or something, and when he was like knocked out of sleep or something after he got shot with that lightning, and
I think you
he's
dreamt that, bro, when you fell asleep.
negative. I know I saw that.
Um, hold up. Yeah, Terrence, I read it. I can see the chats. Don't worry, I got you. I can't hear y'all, yeah, no problem, Paul. I know you're in the theater now. Um, what did you guys think of George Clooney at the end? I didn't like that.
I thought it was a cool cameo, but ain't nothing that made me.
yeah,
I
I'm like, okay, all right.
No,
But
that was terrible.
I agree with you.
I'm not gonna mince words about that. That was one of the George Clooney should have been in that scene where they're colliding into all of the different worlds. If they really wanted to do something with this movie and end it on a bang, you know who should have got out of that car? Thomas Wayne.
nah,
Like
yeah,
in the
that would have been
Flashpoint,
dope. That would have been
But
dope.
but
like
my
in the Flashpoint. So he basically comes out and it's Thomas Wayne, and then you see on the news
Well, I
like
would have been
something like,
happier with Christian Bale getting out.
Oh yeah, that
sure,
would
I
have been
mean, yeah,
dope.
that would have been dope, but that would have been fan service. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you're talking
all of
about
it was fan
continuing,
service. What are
no,
we talking about here?
I know, but I'm saying if you want to continue the story, it makes more sense that what he goes into, he's fucked up the world again, because
Yeah,
like,
but they
right,
ain't gonna continue the story because I mean that's it.
true,
I don't
but
even know if they
that
can even
because
salvage a reboot from that.
but
because
that he changed reality again because he put the tomatoes on the top so that his dad would look up.
yeah. But
Yeah,
you see,
so that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
the thing that I have a problem with is that James Gunn has been saying that this is supposed to, be the reset for his universe. So what? George Clooney's going to be the Batman in his
right,
See,
universe?
yeah,
exactly.
Is that what is that what you're trying to tell us? Because
God,
if
I
that's the
hope not.
case,
Yes,
yeah,
I'm
you know what I
out.
mean.
I'm out, bro.
All I can say is if
Yeah.
George Clooney gonna be the Batman, they better make him be able to fight like whoever fought for Michael Keaton because
Yeah,
he
Michael
was a
Keaton's
handful in
actually
that Russian.
Yeah, that was. I
prison.
like
Yeah,
that scene. I did like that scene.
yeah,
I was
me
like,
too.
dude,
man, that Batman never fought like that. Boy, you doing all kind of
I
stuff.
have never seen George Clooney's Batman from the first. It's the only Batman movie I've not watched more than
I've
once.
seen all
Batman's
of
Yeah,
them.
like
you're a good man.
he's my second to third favorite superhero. I love fucking Batman, and I have not seen that film more than once.
No, do it.
That goes to show you how I feel about like that fucking guy. Like if he comes back, I'm out. I'm out. Just call
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
don't
a
waste your
Patterson
time
fan.
because you'd be like, "What the hell is this?"
yeah. That I didn't like that at all. I thought, man, could have been better. But CJ, what up, Chris? He said the movie was hot trash. I don't think anybody here thinks it was really hot trash, but I thought it could have been better. I was bored with lots of parts of the movie, and I just thought it could have been better for me. Anyways,
I just think it was building up to something that seemed bigger than what it delivered at the end. Like there was no fight between him and Dark Flash. I just don't get that.
yeah,
Like there could have
yeah.
been a fight between him and Dark Flash through the multiverses or something like that.
Yeah, it'd have been cool
You
if they
know,
had Reverse Flash. That would have been cool.
and
Right.
I said that this film needed Reverse Flash. It really did. And again, with the thing that I was saying at the end, if Thomas Wayne comes out of that car and then you get an end credit scene where it's like Diana and Arthur are getting married, right? And so that like, oh, so the next thing is going to be like the actual Flashpoint, then you've got something. But I don't know what they were doing. I really don't know what they were doing at
What
the
they
end of
should
the
have done,
movie.
they should have been like done an old man Bruce Wayne, and then maybe showed the Batman be what's the one Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, I got
Mhm.
you.
Did have done
I got
that
you.
or something like that. That'd have been good.
But
Right.
yeah, even that, but something. They didn't show like stuff like they could have shown like the Watchmen in this reality, like I just thought the best one was the Christopher Reeve stuff and the
Nicolas
the
Cage.
Nicolas Cage stuff, but they needed more of that and like to expand on that a little bit.
Nicolas Cage is the one that got the most applaud in my theater. Like no one really applauded for Christopher Reeve, like nothing. They applauded for Nicolas Cage part, and I was just like, really?
Losers.
Like really?
The
No,
old
because it
Reed,
was
and just Reed. Some people was like, "Hey," and that was it. That's
Mhm.
why, like I said, we only have 14 people in our theater.
Yeah, Danny, did more people come to yours?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. Okay.
When I came in there at 7, it was like echo chamber. Hello, 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 hello.
See, it makes me wonder. They did that. They did it on purpose to make
And you
sure
know
more
when they
people
did the
got there.
8:30 show, they put us in a much smaller theater too. Like the first movie was probably
here's
maybe
one.
100 seats. The second one at 8:30 it was like maybe 75 seats.
Here's one.
Wow.
I think Shazam: Fury of the Gods was better.
I agree.
Ooh.
Honestly,
Oh wow!
I agree.
honestly,
I don't know about that one, but I do
it was
think
definitely better than Across the Spider-Verse.
What?
No, no,
Not even
you spoke
close.
something now.
Not even close, bro.
He tried to
That
Jedi
was for
mind
you,
trick us
Nzo.
now.
Yeah, he trying
That
to
was for
talk
you,
some
Nzo.
shit over there, but there's no way that is better. Like it's just no
It
way.
wasn't. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I give this movie a C plus, man. It's just, and they talking about they got the sequel on the table, but it's got to make as much as the Batman did internationally, and that's $700 million. I don't see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hope it does because I think they've got something, but if it doesn't, I'll understand because every criticism. Here's the thing: I give it a 7.5, but I can understand people going just off the CGI alone and off the anticlimactic ending that this is just like a 5 out of 10 or not a great movie. No, man, better than No Way Home.
No. No, it's not.
It's
Jimmy, I
no.
gotta bounce, man. I gotta work. Be up early in the morning.
Yeah, no problem, Danny. I'm not gonna stay on too much longer, but have a good night, brother. And
All
shout
right,
out
see
to
you,
the
Danny.
channel where they can find you real quick.
Oh, you can find me Monday nights on Chaos Central on Nzo, Chris Knight, a few other fellas. Wednesday nights to hang out with G Major, Guy Scar, the Token Black Man, and you can find me sometime on Nzo Show, the OC. Sundays 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can definitely find me on Storm's Live, Robert Storm, and I'm doing something now Monday through Fridays. 7 a.m. every morning, I release, I call it my encouragement series, where I give a word of the day and I give a quote of the day and talk about those words and quote. Video lasts maybe about 7 to 10 minutes. You want to tune in and check it out, I appreciate it. And definitely thank for the invite, bro.
No problem. Thanks
Appreciate
for
you.
popping in.
Appreciate
All
you,
right,
Danny.
Danny.
It's a
All right,
pleasure.
man. Y'all take it easy. G Major
Peace.
Nerd Man. Later.
Peace.
Look, the question about No Way Home.
You just don't
I
want to say
couldn't.
it. I get it.
I couldn't in good conscience say that this film is better than No Way Home. But the heights of this film are better than No Way Home, and the explanation of the multiverse and time travel is better than No Way Home. I just think it's too anticlimactic. I can't get past that. I don't really like No Way Home that much, but yeah, like as a movie, like from beginning to end, it functions better than this one. This one just is funnier, better action, better, other stuff, but it flopped. It fumbled right at the end.
Yeah, it fumbles the ball. I agree with that. It's like you said, it is a very anticlimactic end, and I was expecting a lot more from this movie than I got, and I was just like, meh, like I can't lie. There's some funny things in it. There were some funny things in it, made me laugh, made me chuckle, and stuff like that. But just the movie itself, I just.
I tried. I watched 2 trailers. I was done. I think if I just see all the trailers, I think I would really be like having a fit with this movie. Like I said, it's okay, but it's just I can't see a sequel. I'm sorry, I can't see it.
I could
Yeah.
see a sequel correcting a lot of stuff with the CGI and stuff like that and making it better.
But they're gonna need the money, and they already been cutting.
Yeah.
That Warner Bros. Been cutting the debt still. It's gonna be.
My thing is it's like, when you guys talked about No Way Home and all that stuff, it's like, oh, member berries. But that whole scene with all the cameos was 100%
pure
member
berries.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I feel like they didn't go into that enough. I thought that was where the film was leading. Like you're gonna get to a point where it's gonna show you stuff that's gonna blow your mind, with the multiverse, and it just didn't deliver. So yeah,
Yeah, because all they really did was they were just standing there looking through, I guess, a crack in the porthole or whatever, and I was like, they didn't really do much. So I thought it could have been better, but
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
yeah. I hear you.
The 27 people watching, thank you guys for popping in. Hit the like
It
button,
needed a
of
part
course.
two.
They
This
need a
they
part
should
two.
have done part one and part two. If they didn't have the budget or the whatever to really do all of that crazy stuff, they should have alluded to it in the movie and then just had it be a part two, like coming straight
What
off it.
what I think they should have did more is like what I thought they were gonna do is tie it more into the James Gunn stuff. You know what I mean?
As
And
well.
yeah, that's what it could have been the perfect opening for the James Gunn stuff.
Right.
And they dropped the ball. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was like,
Yeah. Because it
because
doesn't make you excited for anything of the James Gunn stuff at all.
Because you had the animated version, and you had, I think, what was the other animated movie? Justice League, Apocalypse War, where at the end, spoilers, sorry guys, where Constantine told Flash, you gotta do a flashpoint, man. You gotta reset everything. And that would have
Mhm.
been the perfect thing to do. You do this and reset, start over again. But it didn't come to that.
Yep,
Like, when I heard about they
you're
said,
right, Chris.
I heard a rumor saying that they were going to have it where right at the end you see a silhouette of Batman, but it's clearly a different voice and a different actor.
Hmm.
I didn't love that, but that would have been way better than what we got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We got all these cameos, and the one Batman they decide to put at the end is the George Clooney one, and I was just like, really? Like, why
Yeah, that
change Batman?
straight up should have been in when all, as I said, when all of the multiverses were collapsing into each other. That's when you should have seen George Clooney.
Right.
Yeah,
Or or even better, when he's running back in time to try and change what happened with Zod. One
Mhm.
of them could have been George Clooney. Like he runs back in time, and instead of Keaton, he finds George Clooney's in the bat plane, and or something like
Yeah.
that.
You know what kills me is that, okay, so they did all these Superman, but you see they did Adam wants his Batman, so you couldn't show him. I'm like, that's okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they didn't get approval. That's the only thing I can think of.
They could have did so much more with that ending, though. Like really and
Yeah.
truly, they could have did so much more with it. And I'm like you, nerd man. Though I don't know if I completely blame James Gunn, but I know it's because of him why they took out a lot of the things that they were going to do in the movie. You know what I mean? Like they took out, well, Cyborg, we know why he was out, but it seemed like it was supposed to be
Oh yeah.
totally different. The ending was supposed to be totally different than it was. That's what it seemed like to me. But
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that end credit scene. There was other end credit scenes.
yeah, it's like it felt like something they just put together, like to have one.
Yeah,
Right.
I think they put that end credit scene in. This is my theory. They put that end credit scene in because they knew it didn't contradict anything.
Yeah,
It doesn't say anything, basically.
Mhm.
So
It just gets you probably ready for the Aquaman movie, like.
exactly that too. Get you ready
But
for
that,
Aquaman
I don't
movie.
know what's gonna go on with that movie because this sounds like it's a hot piece of shit right now.
But you see, the problem is that these movies, I guess, they're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? It's like they're
Mhm.
done, and then the universe is going to reset. So why should we really get
Yeah.
invested in
In any
the
of
new
it.
Aquaman movie or the Blue Beetle or whatever? Why should we be invested in it when we know that it's just going to be reset?
Right.
George Clooney doesn't deserve anything. I've got to bounce, but George Clooney
Yeah, me
doesn't
too.
deserve anything when it comes to Batman. That was it. He was miscast. Even as a kid, I knew he was miscast before it even happened. Nah, he don't deserve shit. I hope I never see him again as Batman.
No shit.
I agree.
All
Yeah,
right.
but guys,
I'll
we
put
did
about
talk about the
work.
movie. Yeah, we're gonna. So shout out to people where they can find you, Nerman, because we're gonna close it up as well. I got work tomorrow. Nerman, shout out your channel. All right, G Major, shout out your channel.
All right, guys. G Major. I got Major. What up, though? I had to change it a little bit because I now produce music and I had to start a new YouTube channel. But Major. What up, though? I'm usually talking about stuff, movies or documentary stuff like that. So you can find me there. Major. What up, though? And Enzo, thank you for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Um, Jay Casas Alonso, don't be like that. Those people just enjoy the movie for what it is. I tried to enjoy it. You watch the beginning of the stream. I said I went in there and I was hoping I was really gonna love this movie. And I don't think it's horrible. I just think it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys got to take look. We're just giving our opinion of it, so we're not telling people not to go see it. So
Mhm.
don't get that thought in your mind. We're just giving our opinion what we thought of the movie. You take it as it is. So you want to listen to us, it's fine. But go see the movie for yourselves and see what you think about it, and you can comment. That's all it is.
Absolutely. If you enjoy it, go ahead. I mean, I didn't hate it. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
said, I thought it was okay, but I thought it would be better. But with that being said, guys, thanks for popping in. See you on the next one. G Major, thank you for coming again.
no
Brother,
problem,
it's
bro.
always a pleasure. Peace,
Yep.
guys.
Peace.